got a committee report on Monday, October 13th, 2014, in session. See what we did.
Our
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To honor the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You'll know where the comment sheet is, the very first one. I think the other one.
This is a public hearing now.
Oh, okay.
The comment, the public comment one.
Who's the public comment? I don't want to speak.
You don't want to speak?
No.
Last person on there.
You can sit silent.
Okay.
Let him look at it till you.
Leave the last name on.
Would like to hear you, Sheriff.
No, it's all right.
Okay, we had, nine people sign up for, public comment. John Pollock will be first.
You want me to be first? Can he be first?
What's his name?
I think they're on the agenda. They're on the agenda.
Huh?
You're
I'm on the agenda.
I know, but I need to check them off. That's the reason. Which one is he?
Hey, John, take which one? Yeah. Let's speak.
I didn't sign it because they told me I didn't have to sign it if I was on the agenda.
Are you on the agenda one? No.
Yeah, I'm
That's-
on the agenda, my name is on the agenda.
Yeah. So, you don't want to speak in public comment, then you want
No.
to wait till the agenda item?
Well, whatever.
What's the agenda item?
Number 7.
Adrian and Alice and residents of 20, all of these residents of 228?
Yes. I'm property owner, but I live in San Antonio.
Anybody want to make a public comment before we get to the item? If not, go ahead.
Well, I'd just like to say, I rode 228, it's graded and everything's okay, but since the FINA, put the caliche on there with the rocks, it is very, and I don't live there, but I go there 4 times a week because I do farming and ranching over there. It's so bad that when the oil trucks, like the pickups go 40 or 35 miles an hour, you gotta stop in a ditch and wait for a while till the dust disappears because you can't see no 30 feet in front of you. And if the school bus goes through, because it's bigger, it makes so much dust. I usually wait till it goes through because you don't know where the kids are or anything else, and it's a real problem. The grass is not green anymore, it's gray. And then the pipe over there by Clarence Shoot is really not wide enough to take care of 2 cars to pass each other. But we do have reflectors on now, which we didn't have before. But at night, you know, if you don't pay too much attention, you don't see those little things. So it's like we need an extension on both sides so people don't have to stop and let the other car go through and vice versa. But it's really a problem, especially around his place, which is about halfway between the Favelic Road and 541. That road was supposed to be paved, I don't know how many years ago when they extended from Sestacova to 541. And then they moved our part of the road to Trios or Dewey's, and It never got paved, never got taken care of. Mr. Powell is doing a good job as far as keeping it level and everything. It's the dust that's really killing us. I don't know how the people can live around that. Tell you the truth. Thank you for the time.
Anyone else want to comment, public comment? If not, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and take, we cannot respond to anyone's public comment, but we can on the agenda item. So we'll go ahead and take number 7 first here, and that way give Commissioner Powell opportunity to respond to anyone. So we'll move down to item 7, Adrian L. Theatri.
I got something to add to what Mr. Pollard said. Our road is terrible. It is terrible. The dust is terrible. We live like in the fog over there, when the big trucks, or even a pickup pulling the trailer, it's like a fog coming. Everything is just dust. My son-in-law here, he lives the closest to the road. And it's terrible. Plus, it is very uneven. You put that, when y'all put that ground asphalt there, you stop the dust. But look at it now. It's so uneven, especially around the corner by Jonathan Moose. One of these days, somebody's gonna flip the car there. But people drive it, the speed limit is 30, but they drive faster than that. And if I'm by the road, I yell at, hey, 30 miles an hour. But that don't help. We need to do something with it. Plus, the culvert there, what he explained, we've been patching it for the last 10 years when I was working there. It's got a hole in it. Not too long ago, I called your foreman. I said, hey, something's got to be done there. Well, he came and put some asphalt on it, covered the hole. But that's not, it's got to be replaced. And then the culvert with the head bolts by me there, it is not wide enough for 2 cars. One of these days, when there's a lot of dust, somebody's gonna fall off and get hurt and maybe sue the county then. I think it would be easier, cheaper to extend those head bolts with it, extend that culvert, than getting sued by somebody. Because the dust is terrible. And what I can't get over is, Paul, Mr. Commissioner, you just took over D31, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and you already paved it. We've been living there all our lives and catching the dust. And there are 40 years and you paved 4.5 miles to a dead-end road. To a dead-end road. Now I can see 224, that's a good bypass. I don't have nothing against that. But that part that you paved 225 and then part of 226, like I told you at the yard there, why didn't you just come on 228 and start paving there? And you told me, oh, there's too much trouble to move. Everything is, nothing is completed except that dead end road there. And here, we're sitting there in the dust. Plus, I got one more thing to say. One lady complained about a dust on 247. One lady came over here, and you fixed that dust. One lady. And look at us here. Look, we've got a petition here. So we got 125 people that signed it. Petition to pave the road. And you had one lady there come up here and you took care of her. And those are all legitimate petitions. Most of them done by Ms. Macy Cutzer. I took time out, I went to the people to get it signed. Those are all legit signatures. I think it's time for you to do something with that road. You told me you never paved it because on account of the oil trucks. 228, 229, you said you never paved it. Well, you paved 224. You got oil trucks coming through there. What is the difference? You got all trucks everywhere. On the big highway, 181, 123, 3191, it says the whole of them. The 541, they're all, you got them all everywhere. And that's no excuse for that. Now, just think if you would pay, we paid 228, I know Cornish County would do it, because they already wanted to do it once before, but Wilson County wouldn't do it. From 123 down 3191 through Cestahova, all the way past 887, all the way to 541. It would be one shortcut bypass like you did on 224. Let's see what else I got to see. Oil, let's see. I think I touched everything I had here. Anyway, that's my expression. We need to do something with that road, Paul. When I started working there for Mr. Brewski, he was the commissioner. 228, 229 were #1 roads. And he says, hey guys, if it needs blading, go blade it. Then when John O'Malley became commissioner, it was the same thing. There's no problem. We took care of the roads. He just said, hey, these roads, this road, if your road needs blading, go ahead. Then when Mr. Ryder became commissioner, well, at first it was real nice. He would, advise. But then he started complaining. He said, oh, we can't go there so much because everybody else complains and everybody else complaining. And it started deteriorating, and look what we got now. It's terrible. Thank you.
Ms. Alice Fields?
Morning, everyone. I think it's a shame that we all have to get together and try to get something done. How many people are here from 228? Everybody's got to take time from their busy days to come here because you're not doing your job. When you were running for office, you stood on my front porch and traffic was going by and I told you, I says, Mr. Fowle, I'm talking to you. And as you were standing on my front porch, I says, look at the condition of this road. I says, we can't see anything. I said, it's dangerous. I says, we're gonna have a head on. He says, don't worry, ma'am. I will take care of you people. I will do, I'll take care of you. You let me know what you need. Evidently, we've been calling, we've been letting you know, and it's almost worse than it was before you took office. County Road 228 that we're trying to get paved is only 2.7 miles. There's 35 residents on that road. There's a lot of people. We're not talking a few people that are complaining. There's a lot of people that live on that road. That's a busy road. You pave other roads, but there's a lot less people and a lot more road to cover. So we don't understand why we can't get something done. There's a young man that's fighting for his life that lives on that road. And one of the orders from the doctor is no dust. He happens to live next to Mr. Moots, and he has to fight for every breath that he takes. And he's actually on a curve where he gets double the amount of dust that any of us that live on a straight stretch of that road. And I know they've called with concerns and issues, and it's not being taken care of. Now, the pipe on 228 there, as Mr. Gatrick said, here's a picture of that pipe. And y'all just continue to patch it. One day, someone, hopefully not one of our children, will hit that road and that pipe will cave in. We could have a serious problem on our hands. And we don't want that happening. We treasure our lives. The truck traffic really is not an issue anymore. The oil trucks really have stopped coming through that road. It's been pretty well developed. The only major traffic that's on that road is to the collection point that's only a quarter mile into 228 off of 541. They stop, they go to the collection point, and they go back out toward 541. The other collection point, they go toward Pavilionsville. So the through traffic from the oil trucks really isn't a concern anymore. That's right, we do have a bus going through there. These kids getting off that bus, that's a dangerous situation. You do have to wait, because you don't know how long that dust is in the air, especially when it's a still day. Now, y'all used to put water on it. There was a time when they put oil on it. They did something to try to dabble, to try to control the dust, but we haven't seen that in quite a while. Now, then y'all did crushed asphalt. That helped. It really did help. But it's gone, and I understand it's not any more expensive to put on versus that dusty gravel that you're putting on there. So if the solution is that difficult, because I understand that the county anticipates raising $549,000 in property taxes. Should be a little bit of that we could use to control the dust. Thank you.
Well, it's written on the agenda, Adrian, Beatrice, Alex, Felix, and residents of 228. Is there anyone else that's a resident out here, resident on 228?
Well, I'm not a resident, I live in San Antonio, but I farm and ranch on 228.
Well, the way the agenda's written is for the residents.
I'm a resident.
Okay.
Good morning to everyone, and just like everyone here has talked about, it's better living conditions that we're talking about for the residents and just the public in general. But as a taxpayer here at Wilson County, definitely, hoping that the tax dollars that are going, for the maintenance and existing and future construction would be applied for better conditions, in our community. We're all, very proud and happy residents of Wilson County, and then of our specific community there. And traveling to and from work every day, early in the morning or late at night, at all times, the dust is a concern for the families of that area. And just like this morning, again, I probably live closest to the road, but it's terrible that I know someone is driving by, not because I hear or see anything, just because I see the dust coming over onto the home. And, we built a beautiful home there, thinking that it would be nice to have one closer to the home there. Hindsight 2020, I wish we were at least a half a mile from the road just because of the dust. But again, just hoping for better conditions for our family and all the other families of our community.
Any other residents?
Yeah, I'd like to, first of all, congratulate Mr. Patrick and Alex for bringing this together. I live on the corner of 541 and 228, and when there's a truck or bus or even an automobile drives down that road, we have a prevailing south wind from here. That comes out on 541. That's an accident waiting to happen. And that bridge they're talking about, that is unbelievable. There's no guardrails on either side. Someone's going to slide off that thing. It's going to be a very expensive settlement. They talked about property taxes. There's a lot of high-value homes on there that pay a lot of taxes. They've been doing this for how many years? I've been living there 42 years, and this road is supposed to have been paid. I think Adrian mentioned. They took that money and used that same money to pave a road for one person. If you drive down 222, you see there's house after house after house after house. All people pay a lot of property taxes, and it's really pretty pathetic, the conditions that people have to live on. I don't live on 228. Every time my car drives by, my yard is just, it's like an asphalt. It's just dust, and there's no reason for that today. We have one of the worst county roads in the surrounding counties. You got Orange County, you got Scotia, Barrett, Guadalupe. Most of the small roads are paved. Why do we have to keep blading the same dusty gravel? So anyway, I want to thank my neighbors for all coming out here.
Any other residents? Mr. Powell, would you like to address?
Only comment I'd like to make, Judge, is that the 82-year deal about paving 331, the reason I picked 331 to be paved, I did a road count on several roads. and County Road 331 had 475 vehicles in 24 hours. 228 South, which is the road y'all talking about, had 163. And that's the reason I did that. I picked the one with the most votes. Y'all can have this copy if you want it. And far as the deal on County Road 247, I did the same work there I did on y'all's road by putting the millings. Yeah, they're gone, they deteriorated. I gotta get some more, I agree. And I agree the dust is there, but it's hard to control the dust as well as anybody knows where there's off-field traffic. It has slowed down, I agree. It has, but the dry conditions that we've had, you also gotta remember, we've been in a drought for the last 2 years. I mean, that's not an excuse, but it is. And I can't say what other commissioners did in the past where it's promising it to be asphalt. Now, without asphalted in the future, I could put that on the list. That one and 229. I agree, they need to be tied together, but it's gonna take time. I will say that. To pay 224, I did it by the bypass. That one also had County Road 224. Had over 200 vehicles a day on it. That's what I'm going by on the study. By traffic and drought. It's not about how many people live on the road or dead end. That 331 takes traffic off of 539 and brings it to 181. People don't realize that. There's a lot of traffic. That's all I have to say to
Where did you have that collar there? I never saw it. And I travel that road just about every day.
We lived there, I never
that.
seen it.
January 30th of this year, 14.
January.
I never saw it, I never saw it.
No, we
I
never
can
saw
tell you,
it.
I can ask get my guy to tell you.
What, did he do it in the morning?
We had a deal, 24 hours. We just had a deal laid across the road.
Where was
Had
it?
county.
No, no.
Right off
It was in the morning
541.
and it was gone in the evening.
No, ma'am,
It was-
24
yes,
hours.
No, sir.
No.
I was gonna argue with that
No,
one.
it's, I don't believe it.
Okay.
We lived there, I don't
If it
believe
didn't-
it.
Okay. No one else wishes to speak? We'll go on then to item 3, certificate of completion.
I have one that I need to bring to your attention. Commissioner Morales isn't here, but he asked us to locate one that he had in 2011. And this is the original. And he would like that to be made replicable. He did take it at that time.
Certificate of course completion, Open Meetings Act, outreach and Morales certified that completion course of training of the Texas Open Meetings Act that satisfies the legal requirements of the Government Code Section 551.005. Certificate is issued effective this 29th day of March 2011. The reason he presented this, we was asked by the Fulton County News for a certificate from each member of the court. And Dawn she found mine in the file. I think she went to the Texas Association of Counties to get copies of everybody. And had everybody but Ricky's, I think, for that.
Located Ricky's.
That's the evening. Item 4, approve bonds.
Yes, I have one, Judge, for Debbie Bryan, District Clerk.
Motion, Commissioner Gomez, Commissioner Fowle, all in favor?
Aye.
And item 5 is extension activity report handouts. Everybody get a copy of them.
Yes, sir, I handed them out to everybody. Yes.
For anyone in the audience, the extension activity report, talking about it, our extension agents turn in a report of their activities over the past year or months, and that just let us know what they're doing, and they're very active. Item 6 is a public hearing, Courthouse Annex 1, 2, 3, updates, comments, and questions. Anyone on the board has any comments or questions as far as the courthouse? This is a public hearing. Anyone has any questions about the construction or whatever the courthouse may do so at this time? If none, we'll move on then to item 8, Jennifer Fernandez, Guadalupe Valley Family Violence Shelter proclamation recognizing October 2014 as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Wilson County. Do we have a copy of that?
No, sir. Maybe check. Yeah, she might have dropped it off.
Item 9, acknowledgement of setting compensation for county auditor and assistants.
Yes, sir, I have that.
Order setting compensation for county auditors and assistants on September 15, 2014. A public hearing was held in the Justice Center courtroom in Wilson County, Texas, pursuant to the local government code for the purpose of appointing and setting the compensation for the Wilson County auditor and auditor's assistants. It is ordered that the county auditor, Thomas Dubnik, is appointed, and his salary shall be $68,250. It is ordered that first assistant Kristen Lavis is appointed, and her present salary shall be $30,306. It is ordered that second assistant auditor Lisa Everhart is appointed, and her present salary shall be $26,400. Such salary increases shall be the same effective date as Commissioners Court approves for the Wilson County employees. That is signed by 81st Judicial District Judge Donna S. Reyes and 218th Judicial District Judge Stella Saxon. Motion. Commissioner Wiley, second. Commissioner Gomez, all in favor? That's acceptance of their order. Item 10, discuss and take action on closing roadside park on US 87 near Pandora, mile marker 738. That park is between Pandora and Stockdale. We was asked by residents in the area that we consider that TxDOT will not close it without we say so, and they say that the criminal activity and the trash that's being left and washed down the road is more detrimental than the good that's coming out of it.
It's not much of a park to begin with.
There's one table there, and it's like I said, it's a place for motion. Commissioner Wiley, second. Commissioner Ryle, all in favor? Item 11, discuss and take action on mass gathering permit 1010, zombie run and zombie black oops. That's the hoops for me.
Yeah, too.
We already do it?
Yeah, I turned my paperwork into,
Motion Commissioner Fowle, second. Commissioner Gomez, all in favor?
This is your signature page, Judge. I'm sorry, this is it. Who was it first? Okay, who's second?
yeah,
Okay.
Item 12, Albert Gomez, Commissioner Precinct 1, discuss and take action on new CB9 center mount broom sweeper from Romco to the buy board for all precincts payout textbook.
This is a piece of equipment, Judge, that we need for, whenever we start paving the roads, we need a sweeper so we can sweep the roads down, so we can take the dust out. And it's really needed on the precinct.
The one we have is an antique that precinct 3 and 4 purchased together, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago.
Motion, Commissioner Gomez, second, Commissioner White, all in favor?
Uh,
Item 13, Leanne Hocek, EMC. Item A, 2014-2015 ACOG Regional Solid Waste Grants Program. 1, Magnum Trailers, discuss and take action on the purchase of a Wells Fargo gooseneck trailer for collection of e-waste and tires, $20,712. That's on a grant.
Yes, and that's a copy of the quote if you want to kind of look through it. Commissioner Wiley, Commissioner File, and myself went to Magnum Trailers and looked at the different trailers that we had, that they had there, and came up with some specs that we would like to have the trailer designed to, and this is the quote for that. The quote, okay, the amount of the grant is $19,062, so we're $1,650 over on the quote than what the grant was for.
Now, which commissioner is that, those two will make up the difference.
No, it's the two that didn't go.
Oh,
okay.
it didn't go.
I don't know if the balance would want to come out of the recycling fund, or,
What this will do for us, which is the reason we went for the grant, is that when we have our annual events, and we have one coming up the 25th, I think it is, of this month, we always have to pay for someone to come and pick all these electronic stuff. And what does that usually run? Do you have an idea?
it could run anywhere
Can't recall.
from 1,000 to 6,000. We've had as much as 8,000 in the beginning when we got started.
And so what this will do, will allow us to have our own trailer. And then we'll be able to get rid of this stuff at no cost. And so we save that. And then secondarily, it would put us in a position so that as much as we wanted to, we could have an event in Floresville, Polk, Livonia, or Stockdale, just for TVs, the electronic sort of things, to help keep that sort of stuff off the side of the roads and in the ditches and everywhere else that
Leanne,
it tends to go.
what funds has that been coming out of when we paid the excess?
Prior to Tom being here, we didn't have a separate fund. It was coming out of each of the commissioner precincts, depending on where the event was held. But then we got together with Tom and created, or actually Verna, I think, and created a separate fund for collection events and a separate fund for
Well, do we have funds
recycling.
in that amount?
And as we get money or rebates on the single stream recycling that we're doing, and that will offset it somewhat, but it might not offset it completely, but.
But I was just, is that money in that fund?
Yeah, we budgeted $10,000 for this year.
For that purpose, so I think.
Yeah, I think the issue of it is something you thought that would have where.
Commissioners, is that satisfactory out of that fund that's set up for that?
Yes.
That's a separate line item, Commissioner, for $10,000.
Motion, Commissioner Wiley, second, Commissioner Gomez, all in favor?
So then the balance comes out of recycling?
Yeah. That's a recycling line item.
Yeah. And if we get in a short situation, there've been times where we looked at all the precincts and said, okay, we need a little additional money to have this next event, and we could go back this way.
Does the sheriff have to lose that kitchen? Borrow a truck or- Huh?
I believe it's
24 foot.
Leanne, do we still have that truck from 8,000?
Yeah. Good sheriff.
Yeah,
It's all set up.
That'll look fine.
yeah, because it's got the use of, so.
This is-
Item B, standard,
Hold
non-standard.
on just a second. Is this trailer basically the same like the trailer we've got here right now?
Loads in trailer, gooseneck with the ramp on the back.
I mean, probably will get heavier.
Probably a little bit heavier than that.
Item B, non-standard plat variance, 1 Pullman Road, 111, precinct 3, Warren, discuss and take action.
Okay, this was a non-standard plat variance request that came before the committee on the second and was given a favorable recommendation. Let's see, they own a lot in Pullman Acres and it has 2 homes on it. They're requesting to divide the lot into 2 separate tracts, an acre and 1.7 acre tract. They both have road frontage, all the requirements were met, so it was given
Commissioner
a
Morales,
favorable recommendation.
aware of this?
Yes. He got favorable.
It was given a favorable recommendation,
Motion,
yes.
Commissioner Wiley, Commissioner Powell, all in favor? Item 2 on there, on B would be 59.85 acres out of the Alonzo Green Survey, A124, Johansson, discuss and take action.
This also came before the committee same day, given a favorable recommendation. The property owner is selling to an adjoining landowner but could not meet the road frontage requirements, and that was the reason they requested a variance. But a favorable recommendation was given with stipulation that that tract could not be sold on its own because it would be landlocked.
Motion, Commissioner Wiley, second, Commissioner Powell, all in favor? Item 14, Edmund Baker, Health and Public Safety, lifting burn ban, discuss and approve.
We're not gonna get as much rain as we hope, but, we are below the threshold of a burn ban, and of course, been letting everybody burn for a couple of weeks now. And, I would recommend that we lift the burn ban. If we gotta put it back on in 2 weeks due to lack of rain, then we can do that.
I think it's important because we're gonna have frost here for long, and whatever burnt between now and then would be fuel that's gone.
Absolutely.
Judge.
Absolutely.
Motion, Commissioner Gomez, second, Commissioner Powell, all in favor?
Aye.
Item 15, payroll personnel team. Jan not here?
She's here, I saw her back here.
She's just very stealthy.
She's hidden.
Okay, I have Kevin Reagan, resigned 9/30/2014, Department 180, Road and Bridge, Precinct 4, Road Hand. Penelope Guerra was hired 10/1/2014, Department 380, Tax Office Clerk, Auto Clerk, $1,750 a month. Melissa Trevino was hired 10/1/2014, Department 380, $1,750 a month, a tax office auto clerk. Rosalinda Soto was hired 10/6/2014, Department 380, $1,750 a month as a tax office auto clerk.
Question, comments? Motion, Commissioner Powell, Commissioner Wiley, all in favor? Financial report, item 16. Anything out of ordinary, Mr. Henry, we need to look at?
No, sir.
Hmm?
No, sir. spend, 2 million out of the tech school fund. And I'll probably have to take some more out before the end, before we start getting tax money in for this month.
Well, we have to,
You have 2 months, 2 ends of July and end of August, Judge, and I have the originals of them when you're ready to sign and approve.
everyone had an opportunity to review, look at it.
I have to change the first page on the August one, it should read 2014. I'm sorry.
You can change it.
It's okay.
Motion. Mr. Wyrick, Mr. Gomez, all in favor? Dan,
Yes, sir.
you want to make a change on the originals that were signed off on here?
Yes, on the first page of August the 31st.
On which one? Which one,
She said 2014, not 13.
Minutes?
Yes, sir. I have the originals right here. And they all have copies of them, Judge.
Everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes. Motion, Mr. File, second. Mr. Gomez, all in favor?
Put Ricky's there.
Item 18, bills.
You want to make that announcement to court because we'll have to make the change. Yes, because you're requesting. She has a comment to make on the minutes, Judge, before we
Ma'am.
approve them. Otherwise, I can't change them.
On the first three, chronologically, the first 3 minutes, Lindsay Thorne's name was misspelled, and it didn't indicate his company name, which I think we should do since he's not appearing personally, he's appearing for his company.
We'll make those changes, Judge.
The motion is made by Commissioner File, that you amend it to,
I'll amend that one to have the correction
and
made.
second by Commissioner Gomez, all in favor?
Okay. Let me-
Everyone had an opportunity to review their bills. Motion, Commissioner And with that, we are adjourned. I will, I'm gonna go to the funeral service across the street, and I'll sign the bills when I get back to right.